do 10 minutes at a time.
Sure. Well, this is my grandma, and here we are. Kendra and I are visiting Grandma up in Chetek. So, let's see. What should we get on video? How about, what were you telling me earlier about who your favorite grandson was? That would be a good thing.
That's right.
That would be a good thing to get on tape.
Yes, my favorite grandson, my #1 grandson, Ryan.
Oh, sure, that's right, Ryan.
Uh-huh.
You sure it's not Kevin or Daniel or Holly?
Oh, they're all my great grandsons.
Sure, they're important, but you know,
Yes,
they're not
but
#1.
no, it's #1 grandson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now that we got that on
We
tape,
were
that's good.
fishing, John and I were fishing at Grandpa,
Mhm.
and it was Sunday, or I think it was Sunday, or some sort of holiday. We were sitting right at Lake Hope. We come home in the evening. We had a little heater and everything, and my son-in-law called me, and he said, "Well, you have a." I just can't remember how he said that. You have an. Oh, he called me. He says, "Well, hello, Grandma." He says, "You
So
gotta-"
my dad called you and said, "Hello, Grandma," when I was born.
Yeah, he talked to me, because he was there, Yeah, and he said, "Hello, Grandma." I looked at him. He said, "Well, now, what did you have, a boy or a girl?" Well, I can't remember what he said, but we were so happy.
I'm guessing he said a boy.
I can't remember. I don't think he. I can't remember what he said. Isn't that crazy? My God, it's 40-some years ago, and I should remember all of that.
Well, it's not quite 40 years ago. I'm only 35,
Oh yeah, well, all right.
but close enough.
Yeah.
I don't want to add any more years as,
Oh yeah, but
until I have to.
I wasn't so sharp right then because I was cold, and we came from fishing. We'd been fishing. I can't remember if it was a Sunday or what. It had to be on a Sunday or some holiday.
Hmm.
We were so happy. I finally got him. I thought, boy, oh boy, now I'm getting old. Grandma.
So what's that story about how you met Grandpa?
Oh, jeez. You want me to tell you that story?
I want you to tell me that story.
Oh, God. Well, I was home on vacation because my mother wasn't feeling very good, so I come home from Chicago, and I was home for, sometimes I stayed longer, and sometimes I didn't have to stay so long. And my neighbor, that I went to school with, she wasn't a neighbor, but a real friend, and her husband just passed away here a couple of weeks ago, too. And she and her sisters lived out on a farm. They were sisters, and whenever I was come home, and they would go pick me up, and we'd go to Conrath on Saturday night for dancing, because there was a dance every Saturday there in Conrath. It was just there's always a dance there on Saturday, so we went to the dance, and he picked me up, and I had no car, he had no transportation, but they did. They always picked me up. Well, then one year it happened. The younger sister, she came and picked me up and her older sister was with her. And I asked her, "Well, where's Genevieve?" "Oh, she's got a boyfriend now, so I'm going to go." They were married already, because they got married during the winter time or was cold. So then we went, Genevieve and I went to the dances every Saturday night when I was home. And when I wasn't home, she didn't go because she didn't want to go alone. And so, let's see, this one night, this is the first night that Royce, I guess, she introduced, it was a bar, of course, attended to it, you know. That was the bar that we had bought. And she said, I want you to meet somebody here, John Pavlik. I said, John Pavlik? I said, jeepers. I used to know a Pavlik about 20 years ago. I was good friends with the Pavliks, but then his dad passed away, and they didn't, he was just a kid. He was only about 11 years old or so when his dad passed away. So, of course, I didn't know him from Adam then. And he was tending bar with his brother-in-law, and so she introduced me to him, and I said, yeah. I said, yeah, I remember you when you were a kid. We were both kids. You were about 11 years old. That's when after your dad passed away, we didn't, you know, they lived about 4 miles out in the country, you know, Slate, and he was just learning how to drive at that time. His dad taught him before he died. And I haven't seen him in 20 years. And he says, yeah, he shook hands, and he went back to the tending bar. That was the end of him. I didn't see him anymore, and I didn't care, you know. I was home on vacation, and I was... So then the next day, the next Saturday, he was there again. He was attending bar. And with his brother-in-law, they were partners in this tavern, you know, and because we always had a dance every Saturday. And gosh, he was there again. He's talking. I don't know, I just, you know, kind of. And that night, I didn't come with my friend because her boyfriend, he had to stay and make, they had a load of hay that they had to cut and haul in because it looked like rain on Sunday, so they had to get that hay, and of course he was late. He was going to come, but he'd come later because they always used to pick me up about 9 o'clock because that's when the dance started. So this some other bird came, and I didn't even know him, and I don't know how he attached himself to, he knew me or something, and he came to pick me up to go to the dance, and I said, well, no, I can't. I gotta wait for Genevieve and her friend. And so he sat there and he waited at my folks' place, you know. And my brother-in-law, Lawrence, Alva's husband, you knew them, yeah. And they were visiting there. And he says, gee, he wanted to take me to the dance, this fellow. And I said, oh, I can't, I gotta wait for those people. And we waited and waited, and they didn't show up. Well, I didn't know that he had to do the hay. So my brother-in-law, he was quite a joker too. So.
All right, we gotta end this video because it's more than 10 minutes long, but we'll start another one. Just give me a second.